Hi Aries, welcome to your April 2023 Astro-Tarot scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. With that said, these are for the general reading, so not everything's going to resonate with everybody. Don't forget to check out your ascendant sign first, then your sun, then your moon. The reason being is whenever we're talking about astrology, your ascendant sign is usually the most accurate, although for some people, myself included, there are times when my sun sign actually resonates a lot more with me. With that said, make sure you check out all three to see how they speak to you and how they play out for you. And with that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards and the session itself with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So we are going to start by having a look at your biggest, or these are what I consider the biggest transits of this month, right? There are always lots of transits happening. These are the ones that really stood out for me that I thought, I'd like to dig in on these. So the first one that we're going to take a look at is Mercury conjunct the North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now this is a big deal for you personally as an Aries ascendant, to a lesser degree but still relevant, the sun and the moon. This is happening in your second house. So Mercury, the planet of money, transactions, communications, thought processes, speech, is coming together with the North Node. Now the North Node isn't a planet, it's a point in the sky, it's a calculation, a mathematical point in the sky, let's say. But that North Node energy, it really has a very powerful drive within us. It has a magnetic pull in a sense. Now, because this is in your second house of money, finances, and resources, this could be a really important conversation or communication, a phone call, a Zoom call, an email of some sort. Some piece of information could come in for you around the 6th of April that has a big impact on your money, your finances, your resources. It could also change or reshape or possibly even reframe the value that you attach to money, finances, and resources. You might see yourself in a really different way and start to think, okay, you know what, if I've got my own business, I'm going to raise my prices. If I work for somebody else, I'm going to ask for that pay rise. There's a sense here that you really are elevating your thought, and also that drive, that passion, that hunger within you is going to be really focused on making more money, bringing more resources in, or for some of you as well, this might be about putting money in its proper place, right? Which for many people is that in itself is a very powerful experience. All right, so let's have a look. See, for this you've got the Nine of Cups. That's beautiful. You've got the Queen of Cups. That's lovely. And you've got the Ten of Swords, right? So for a select few of you, this could be the release of a financial burden. Very possible, that Ten of Swords there, especially with the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups is usually a mother, a matriarch or a matriarchal figure. This could be that the information that comes to you that really helps impact your finances for the positive could actually come from a woman. Probably a water sign woman, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Now, because you've got the Nine of Cups here as well, this Nine of Cups here with the Queen of Cups, this is good news, happy news that comes in, but brings a completion or an ending. So this could be that you pay off maybe you pay the final payment on a debt. Maybe you get a powerful insight when talking to a friend and it helps you lay to rest some kind of lack mindset. So this could be really powerful for you guys. Like, you know, it's nothing to be trifled with. I can definitely say that. So the next transit, now this one happens concurrently with the third transit that I'm going to talk about. We've got 4 this month. So I'm structuring the videos slightly differently. Let me know in the comments what you think. Now, on the 11th of April, The sun, lord of illumination, right? The driving force in the solar system and the zodiac. Whatever you want to think, the sun is the most powerful. Nothing works without the sun, right? Literally nothing. Without it, we wouldn't be able to see anything. There'd be no light, there'd be no warmth, there'd be no illumination or heat. Now, the sun in the chart is bringing an attention to the area that it's in. Now, for you personally, the sun is in the first house, right? Because the sun is now in the sign of Aries, which is your first house. This is when, and the way that I see it is when the sun comes into our sign, after traveling the zodiac for the whole year, when the sun comes into our sign, it really pours out a level of energy, heat, light, vitality, and new knowledge, new soul wisdom and understandings. It pours those into our being. It's coming into a conjunction with Jupiter, the lucky, expansive, growthful planet of blessings, abundance, growth, and levity. This is going to be really an energy that is very hopeful, very bright, very future orientated as well. So this, it's said to be as well, when Jupiter conjuncts the sun or connects to the sun in any kind of harmonious energy, it's said to be like one of the luckiest days of the year. Now this is amplifying you and your voice in some way, shape or form. It's allowing you to be seen in a much bigger way. It's amplifying your presence. So the sun rules authority figures, parents, fathers, like masculine sort of energies, and Jupiter rules dignitaries. The sun also rules celebrities. So I would put money on it that at this time you're probably, like, not only are you more magnetic, but you're getting special notice, favor, and enhancement from public figures, from people that are in positions of power that may be able to help you. If there's something that you want or need, ask for it on the 11th, because the chances are you will get it. So I love this. It could also be that you're having an international connection of some sort that amplifies your presence and your focus. Now you've got the Queen of Pentacles, you've got the Ten of Swords. It's the second time the Ten of Swords has come up with a Queen. So there's a few things that I want to talk about with that. The Ten of Swords, it doesn't always have to be death, but it can represent arguments and or challenges. So I wonder, because there's so much masculine energy in the sky at this time, certainly from the 6th onwards, even though that Mercury Taurus, that Mercury North Node conjunction is happening in a feminine sign, I wonder if, because there's so much masculine energy around at this time, Aries is a masculine energy, if maybe some of the connections that you have with women this month are a little bit more tense than usual. Now I've got a Virgo woman here, so the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, with the Hermit card is Virgo ruled. So I've got a Virgo woman here who potentially is maybe, this could be, it could potentially be an argument. However, this could also be, because it's the sun conjunct Jupiter in the first house, this could be somebody that you've already had a falling out with. This could be the mending of a friendship. This could be where you see something in a different light and you start to understand, actually, I'm not alone. But in order to have that experience or that feeling, it could be as well, for some of you, maybe a woman at work or in your home life has been giving you a hard time. This could be where you mend that, or maybe where you say, okay, you know what? Now it's time for me to take my power in my hands and say enough is enough. So you could be putting not laying down a gauntlet, but you could definitely be laying a firm boundary of some sort. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is about growth and expansion herself. I always say, like, with the Queen of Pentacles, she's the kind of woman, like, this is the kind of person you could give them like $10 and they could turn it into 100,000. Like, that is the resourceful, resilient kind of energy that you find within the Queen of Pentacles. So also on the 11th of April, as if that wasn't enough, we've got Venus is going to be trine to Pluto. This is a sexy energy for you. This is happening between your 3rd house of day-to-day communications, websites, phone calls, emails, interactions of a locality kind of nature, and also with siblings. You've got this trine energy to Pluto in your 11th house. Now, the interesting thing about this, because Venus is in Gemini at 0 degrees. Pluto is in Aquarius at 0 degrees. The fact that we've got two planets that are, so Venus is attraction and drawing things to you and beauty. So your words, people are really going to be feeling the things that you're saying. You will just, like, over the course of this transit, especially on this day, you've got the golden tongue. If there's something that you need, ask for it on this day, right? Like, I cannot stress this to you enough. Because you've got Pluto, which is the energy of magnetism, if there's probably likely to be a lot of friendship energy, maybe new communities making themselves known, maybe new connections that are coming in through all manner of stuff like that. And it could be a lot of fun. It could be flirty, vivacious, sexy even. I gotta say as well, this could see a flirtation with a friend coming in. It might also be a pleasurable mix between business and pleasure. Now, usually I say don't mix the two, right? Just because when it goes sour, then, you know, the work goes sour as well. But I actually really like this for that. And both of these planets are attractive kind of energies. So you could be drawing things into you that highlight communities, friendships, your local area. So you could be, you know, really getting into, you know, you could be the focal point that draws people in, you know. So if you've got something like that going on, this could be great. One of the things that I'd written for you is your words are fire right now, okay? And, you know, they say that sex sells, and while I wouldn't usually kind of say lean into that, this is definitely one of those times where you can sex it up a bit. You will have sex appeal, okay? So use it or lose it, honey. For this, you've got the Page of Wands, so it's very sexy, with the Two of Swords, very sexy words, and the Two of Pentacles, right? So 2 2s represents a bond, a pact, or an accord. So the fact that you are bringing things together with someone is absolutely evident here. That Page of Wands, this is a fresh start or a new bond, a new community, a new connection. For some of you, maybe you're meeting somebody that could potentially be quite special to you in your local area. Either which way, there's a lot of fun, there's a lot of flirtation, and there's a lot of enjoyment to be had. And at the time as well, you might be thinking maybe this is some opportunity that comes in that potentially is quite lucrative for you. So this could also be pretty amazing. And then finally, as if that wasn't enough, on the 20th of April, Pluto and the Sun are going to square off, right? So Sun squaring Pluto between your 11th house and your 2nd house. Now, earlier, or just a minute ago, I said to you, mixing business and pleasure could absolutely happen. Don't let that run away with itself though, right? And the reason being is because the Sun is going to be the Sun is currently in your 11th house, and Pluto is currently in your 11th house, and the Sun is currently in your 2nd house. And so what this means is you are going to need to find a way that you don't get kind of sucked into things just because, you know, everything's been going good up until now, and maybe it goes a little bit far. So this could be maybe business and pleasure have mixed and it's done really well, but then you realize, okay, we're not going to be able to keep, you know, fooling around and have business, because at the moment, you know, there are things that we're now starting to disagree on. This could be distancing yourself from one group in favor for another, right? So that Venus trine Pluto could be bringing in one group, and the Sun squaring Pluto could be saying, right, okay, well, in order to step more towards these kinds of people and these kinds of social interactions, you're going to have to let these ones go. So something is coming in as something's being phased out, and you're going to have to decide which. It may also be that your values around money, finances, resources, or just the things that you do with your time suddenly come into a bit of a clash with a friend or a community even. So for this, you've got the Hierophant card. So there are going to be some rules, regulations, and structures put in place. With the Four of Wands, that's really nice. So potentially good news coming to the home. But look, then you've got the Seven of Cups. This basically backs up the astrology, which I love. This is the way that tarot and astrology are actually supposed to work. And this is what I love about it. So this Seven of Cups with the Four of Wands, that's a little too much business and pleasure, where it's kind of run away with itself. And that Hierophant card is basically saying this is where you sober up a little bit. So all the energy that's around on the 11th, and it's bringing all these wonderful things in, and you're having connections with friends and sexy time and money and resources and business and pleasure. And then all of a sudden you realize, okay, we need to scale this back a little bit. All right, so just keep that in mind. So that is your astrology and your tarot. Now we're going to look at the separate weeks of your month to see what comes up for you. All right, like what we're going to have a look at here is how the different weeks are going. All right, so for the first week of April, you have the Hermit card, right? So this, I actually think, is where a rift is being mended. I do think that this is going to be a time where you're going to start to scrutinize things a lot more. I also think while the Hermit card is a lonely energy, I actually think this is where you're reassessing the need to be lonely. It's almost like you're saying, okay, you know what, I've done the solitude thing enough now. I need to open life up a little bit more and get out there into the world. So this could actually be where you're welcoming more people and connections in. For your second week of the month, you have the Fool card, new things, new places, new people, new energies, potentially taking some form of travel here as well. Both of these cards have an element, right? The Hermit is the quest, whereas the Fool card is travel. You in new places, spaces, and environments. Now, the interesting thing is, that second week of the month coincides with all of this Jupiter, with the Sun conjunct Jupiter and Pluto trine Venus. So there could be some, I mean, whew, right? And then look, as we get into that week of the 20th, the Moon card shows up. This is where you start to realize the boundaries are a little bit blurred and something needs to be scaled back a little bit, like a bit more clarity, a little bit more definition, a little bit more, on the boundary side of things. Now, the Fool card with the Moon card, this is potentially you traveling to a place or staying near somewhere that has a large body of water, rivers, lakes, all of that kind of stuff. And then for your fourth week of the month, you've got the Empress. Now, the Empress with the Moon energy, that's quite a fruitful pairing, right? So the Moon card is a lot of water. The Empress card is a lot of earth. It is actually Venus. So this fourth week of the month, you finish the month really strong. And I like this. The interesting thing is, with so much concentrated energy in the sign of Aries, you don't need any fire in the cards, right? So when you look at this, you've got a lot of earth, the Empress and the Hermit. That's giving you the earth energy. The Moon card is giving you the water, and the Fool card is giving you the air. You already are the fire. There's quite a big concentration of energies in Aries this month, so you don't need any more fire. So to recap, first week of the month, maybe readdressing an old issue, maybe laying something to rest or healing a relationship, potentially realizing that you don't have to do it all alone. Second week, new things, places, people, and energies coming in to highlight something wonderful in your life. The Moon card, where things get a little bit blurry and you're having to kind of really say to yourself, okay, let's redefine what we're doing here. Let's get everything, where it needs to be, and maybe redefine the boundaries of stuff. And then the fourth week, blessings, abundance, abound, and also new seeds are starting to be planted for your future. So absolutely wonderful. And now we're going to look at your moons. So I'm not going to go into great depth on these. And the reason being is because obviously you'll get your full moon and your new moon reports. So just things to kind of consider. All right. So just one card for each. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what about the sectors? Don't worry, those will be coming in separate videos. I want to make these like a little bit more digestible, so I don't want them to be kind of too long. All right, so everything at the moment is a work in progress, and I'm just really enjoying kind of getting into that. So on the 6th of the month, we've got the Libra full moon. And for this, you've got the gate 60 and limits. And the message behind this card is always taking time to understand the limits within the confines in which you need to work. So the example that I always give with this card is, so the full moon is going to highlight to you what you can't change, what you're not able to change, what is a circumstance or an overarching energy or theme that is bigger than you. And that card basically says once you accept the limits and the limitations, you can start to learn how to play around with those, right? So that could be really interesting. And then on the 20th, or it's kind of really more the 21st, but on the 21st, wrong deck. You've got the you've got the new moon, and that's in the sign of Taurus, I want to say. Yes, it's in the sign of Taurus, sorry. And this is, you've got the gate 38 and fighter. So whatever is being set into motion around that Taurus new moon, this card basically says if you are willing, ready and able to fight for it, you're an Aries, so we know you are. The lotus flower, it blooms from like the shittiest water. Like literally it comes from like the dankest, grimiest, and then it turns into this beautiful petaled flower. That apparently, the seeds from a lotus flower can last 1,000 years. They represent beauty, perfection, immortality, among other things. Just a really phenomenal energy, and the mythology behind them is amazing. Whatever's being set into motion in this Taurus energy, the new moon of Taurus for you around the 20th/21st of the month, it will have longevity. It really will. How could it not? It's going to be in Taurus, and it has a potential to go really far, providing you are willing to fight for it and accept where you are so that you can know where you're going. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.